Between this warehouse and also bought a watch this month, I've been spending a lot. Warehouse, I'm just going every day and buying new shelves today.
Man, filling up this house too. Oh my God, man. I'm forever going to be broke.
And welcome back to the FLEXCAST. This is FLEXCAST number 30-something, and it's...
Is it the same number as your birthday?
It's not. No. It's my birthday. Of course, as always, we have Steve the Motherfucking Gamer.
You already know.
Harry Harrison Neville. And we have another guest here who is just a bunch of balloons. It's a balloon guest.
I brought Haas some balloons for his birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Woo-hoo.
This is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.
And a cake.
And there's a cake here. I think we should...
Cake your face.
That's not what I was thinking,
right?
But I'll do a bet. Let's make a bet for something.
What do you mean a bet?
I'll do a bet, and then whoever loses cakes the face.
What?
Fortunately, I don't have time for that today. I don't have time for your shenanigans.
This is worse than credit card roulette.
I did that today for lunch because my friends were like, we're not going to let you pay for lunch. I was like, no, let's put it to the roulette. And however it decides. If it's me, it's fine. I won by not paying today, so that was fun. So yeah, it's been a couple weeks since we last did a FLEXCAST. We've had a lot of things going on, a lot of scheduling stuff going on between all three of us. So let's start with Steve. Steve, what's new? You want to tell the FLEXCAST?
New house, trying to fill up the new house.
Steve moved.
Yeah, just been doing that. The other stuff I can't even talk about it yet, but
Yeah, we'll have to wait for that.
a lot of stuff been happening.
What are you talking about? I didn't say any other stuff. You just said other stuff. This thing's like beating me.
Saying happy birthday.
It's hitting me in the head.
It's like happy birthday.
Okay, there. Thank you.
That's the payback for the cigar smoke that hits me in the face.
I forgot my cigar. It's over there.
Oh, you're good.
Damn it.
You can just take balloons to the face.
I wanted to surprise you with a cigar. I was like, oh man, I can't even tell which one you like out of.
Java's. That's the candy cigar.
No, that's the dessert cigar, man.
Candies.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I just re-upped too myself.
Oh my God.
I spent like $400 on a.
It's hard to buy a house anything.
Yeah, I don't want people to buy me anything. I don't want people to buy me anything ever. I don't.
I doubt that.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Don't buy me shit.
Whenever I get a chance.
You know why? And you know why this is true? Because I don't want people to buy me stuff. I just want them to be present. Like that's where I win.
Like at a party.
Yeah, or just come hang out, on a random Wednesday.
Just show up.
Yeah, just show up.
Just be there.
That's exactly what did you get the pine greens? When did you get those?
You had them like last podcast.
Did he? I don't think so.
Different one.
I thought you had those like a couple podcasts ago.
When would you get those?
I got them the same time I got the
Off-whites?
Yeah. The Off-whites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice. You wearing the mochas today?
Every days.
Yeah.
That's your daily.
Yeah.
These are actually, at first I thought that, because we got this in the box, these Fearless, and I thought they were pretty uncomfortable, but once I broke them in a lot, they've become pretty comfortable.
It's patent leather.
Yeah, and the shattered backboard, they're also very comfortable.
That naturally is. They always make better quality materials for those.
Huh.
I'm buying Blake's
good,
shattered backboards from him, his 1.0s.
Oh, the originals?
I've
It's
had a
funny because the
couple pairs.
re-release made it look old, like they had the yellowing sole and stuff.
That's the point. The original is a yellowed midsole.
Yeah. But the new one of the re-release came yellow.
Oh, like ultra yellow. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's
it looks aged.
If you
came
don't,
yellow.
I don't know if you know. Shattered backboard is the staple in the sneaker community as the reference to quality. So a lot of hypebeasts do it. I do it. Not as much anymore, but when you see a new Jordan and you're like talking about how good the quality of the leather is, you say, but it's not as good.
The shattered backboard.
It's not as good as the shattered backboard. They have not released a shoe that I have seen that anybody has seen as well, or that people have talked about enough, that are as good quality as shattered backboard.
Okay, that makes sense. So the rubric for shoe quality for Jordan 1s is a shattered backboard.
Yep.
That makes sense.
I don't know why they did it such great quality. I've had a couple pairs. I had a size 11.5, but I'm getting an 11 from Blake.
Why are you getting another one? Just for you, or just?
He was selling them, and he was like, "Do you want these before I sell them?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? Because I'll get them if I wear them. Great. If I don't, then I'll just sell them."
Yeah. Well, that's nice. Just to be able to turn around anyway.
Well, he's selling them to a good deal. I think he's selling me for $750.
That's not bad.
They go at stores like $1,000
Yeah.
used. So.
But those are the 1.0s. Are those going for more than the re-releases or less?
Mm-hmm. More, yeah.
Yeah.
The 2.0s are going for 6-7 now, and the 3.0s are like 4.
Unless you go to LA and buy it at a store called Cookies and Kicks, and then it's going to be $1,200.
Nah, they had those probably at 4.
No, they didn't. They had them at a crazy price.
That's LA prices.
Yeah.
Like
Speaking of
Porsche,
LA,
my Porsche's for sale for LA prices.
your Porsche. Yeah, I mean, as we debuted in the last FlexCast, Harry got his GT3 RS instead of his GT3, and so he switched that out. That was fun. How you been liking it so far?
Love it. I'm getting new tires put on in 2 days.
Oh, because you had the
My friends
Dunlops.
over at Butler. Yep.
Yeah.
I want to do it because the Cup 2s are meatier and they fill the gap and makes a perfect fitment. So more than like the tire performance, it's kind of that, but also.
So was it already lowered, or do you have to?
That's factory coilovers. So
They just
dropped
adjusted
it down like an inch in the front.
Yeah.
Whatever. Shout out Mickey at Eurofed. He had his car there and he just lowered mine to the exact as his with Sport Cup 2. So then when I put them on, it's good to go.
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah.
Because that's what the rubber he has on his.
His cars, it's solid. But I got clear taillights just shipped. I need to check when they're delivering, and then I'm gonna do a yellow roll cage. That's gonna be in the next few weeks, and then that's about it. Flavio is putting my Porsche sticker on this week.
You're not selling it, right? After that.
I don't think so.
That's what he says.
I
know.
feel it. I'm not like when I got my GT3, I was actively searching on Auto Trader at cars like the next week for GT3 RSs, but I haven't even looked. Like I go on I look for like friends. The only thing I look at is like vintage Porsches, but that's not anything that would replace that car.
I've been looking at, for some reason, like 918s right now. Like I would buy one. I would like a 918 Spider. I think it's a car I'd like.
I would definitely drive that one.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I was thinking about like if we're talking, it's a hypercar.
Yeah.
If-
of the time.
Yeah,
But yeah.
but if you're talking hypercars, like which would I want as like realistically, what would I drive? Because like you get a LaFerrari, you're probably not gonna drive that much. But a 918 is kind of a good
It is
mix because it's not super Koenigsegg, but it's not.
Right in between.
It's not,
Yeah.
but it's a Porsche that performs well.
and you can drive it and not worry about it. Yeah. I
So-
mean, even Carrera GTs are driven a heck of a lot still, and those were still way more out there than the 918s.
The other different exotics got theirs and straight piped it.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts.
That's loud.
And
I mean, it
then-
was already loud. That's an already loud car.
I don't know if you saw Stradman, his Bugatti. He had it just hit 23,000 miles, and then he had one leak, like there's fluid coming from somewhere, and then so he's like getting it towed, and then he woke up the next morning. There was another leak in a different place, so he had it shipped off. So hopefully that doesn't cost him an arm and a leg.
That's gonna be costly. It'd be like a standard for a Bugatti, like a service. It's like 20 to 30,000.
Did you see the paint he's doing on his?
The
Liberty Walk?
Aventador, the Liberty Walk Aventador, which is that pink. I'm a fan. I
Yeah.
love it.
That's a crazy color. He said there's only 2 other Lamborghinis in.
It's a great color.
Has crushed
it's got
glass
crushed
in it.
glass. Yeah, it makes it.
Crazy.
Yeah. And the hood and the whole Liberty Walk kit, I think it looks great. I'm excited to see the whole thing.
The only thing that looks a little off to me is the alignment of the Pirelli stripe on one of the sides. It looks kind of like it doesn't kind of like flow together. One side like kind of is like,
It's a white stripe at the tops of the
but like on the Roadster
like
roof,
where the windows are.
it doesn't like to me. One side doesn't like perfectly line up, and it says OCD of mine.
Oh, I didn't look that hard.
I know. I don't know why I saw it, but I mean it was pretty nuts. That car's crazy.
Speaking of LA, I'm going to be leaving on Thursday
You ready?
to drive to LA, and I'm taking the rolls as I said I would
That's crazy.
with a hitch, and I'm towing the hovercraft. And I bought a trailer on Friday, so I
This is
I
10K deep into
saw
this
that,
freaking
yeah.
hovercraft.
I told Eric, so I'm gonna go make some. If you haven't heard, I'm gonna go make some videos with Eric Decker, Eric on YouTube.
Don't say what your plan is, because just in case.
The 880,
Yes,
people that
somebody might snitch
the 1,500 people that are gonna see this.
because Haas might do something that will get him in trouble.
I could be arrested.
He could, but we don't want to.
We
Why
would
would
not
we
like
say
to be,
it before
We
him?
would not like to be arrested.
Yeah, you don't
Somebody
want to
Could be
jinx that.
arrested.
That
That's
Iraq
fair.
name attached to it.
It's a fair point. So, so I when I got the hovercraft, it came with this like jet ski trailer, and Greg, Chef Greg Laird, who's we've chatted about it on the podcast before. He and I were trying to pull it off of it. We had a really hard time, and there's no way you can get it back on unless you have like 3 or 4 guys to just pick it up and put it on there, which is difficult.
And you can't just steer and drive it onto it.
No, because it's not a ramp; it's a jet ski. So you have to like.
Oh, okay.
So you have to be in water to do it. You know what I mean? So so I was like, I need to get a different trailer. So I ended up looking at used ones, and the used ones for like an appropriate size trailer are like $1,600-1,700, and I'm like, what for a 5-year-old trailer used for? I was gonna buy a brand new one for $1,850, and so I went and bought a brand new one, and then with tax, and then I added a spare tire mount and bought a spare tire for it, and then I'm at $2,250 for that. But I got a brand new trailer, tested out this weekend with the X7, works great, love it, and it's a 14-foot, 6.5 by 14. So I have some extra space, and I'm pretty sure on my way to LA, I'm going to buy another vehicle and add it to the trailer. I'm hoping it fits.
For what reason Haas is doing all this?
Yeah, people keep thinking there's an actual reason. I'm like, what? Why not? Like I was telling someone about it today, and they're like, no, there's got to be a real reason. I was like, no, the real reason is just for funsies, because it's hilarious. And they're like, you're stupid.
Taurus.
What were you just telling me a minute ago? That just like you were saying something else with Taurus too. I said I didn't want. I don't want people to bring me gifts.
Yeah.
I don't like people to get me gifts.
That's me. I don't celebrate my birthday. Other than until I'm at CC, that's when I start celebrating my birthday.
Yeah, I like celebrating other people's birthday.
Yeah, I'll do that all the time.
Yeah,
but my birthday.
Yeah, I mean,
I
think that's like most people. I mean, I think when you get to a certain age,
it's not most people.
I guess not. No,
but
like, people like, I need a birthday month. Like, it's my birthday week, my birthday month.
Sophie is like that. She's like, it's my birthday week, and I'm like, it's my birthday. I'm like, I don't post on social media when my birthday is. I don't do anything. I don't repost anything. Just
same. I didn't do a thing on social media today. Not
and
a
if
thing.
people don't text me, like I don't. It generally does not bother me because like sometimes
it's like you're an asshole because you didn't text.
Yeah, like I sometimes forget people's birthday. Like it's so hard to know everybody's birthday.
Me too.
But you try to do your best, and like for me, it's not a big deal. I'll go to my parents, have dinner.
Yeah,
go out maybe. This year,
I'm glad you guys remember mine. That was nice. Thanks.
Oh no, trust me. I ordered the Pappy last.
You ordered a Pappy Van Winkle
2 weeks ago.
Damn.
They wanted a deposit. Put the deposit down. They still gave it to me.
I told them, I was like, man, that is a gift I want. I was like, don't bring me gifts, but bring me Pappy.
Me a free bourbon.
Steve and I'll try to have to work something together.
Bring me a Pat Man.
This isn't like a gift. This is just something fun to.
I know.
Because I assumed you probably didn't get any balloons for your birthday. Are you doing anything else tonight?
No.
Not with the fam. Not gonna have any cake.
Chilling.
The kids
at all.
No, I got work. I got to edit some videos, man. I got a plan for an epic trip across the country with, a bunch of weird stops along the way. By the way, since a couple folks couldn't go with me, I asked a new friend of mine that we haven't even talked about the fight yet. The Logan Paul fight, by the way.
Oh wow, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Lots happened.
So
Jake Paul fight, dude. They hate when people mix them up.
Yeah, which
they get so mad.
But I never saw Jake Paul. I saw Logan Paul the whole time. Like we were rubbing shoulders literally with Logan Paul. By the way, he's a big dude.
He's big.
He's a big fucking dude.
He's
like
stalky.
He's just that guy's. I mean,
that's like the desired physique. Like, and to keep up with that, it's difficult.
I'm sure. I respect that on its own.
In his Pokemon wave, he shrunk a little bit because he wasn't working out as much.
Right.
And so he shrunk
he
down.
A little skinnier.
But now he's like,
well, he's training and stuff, and he moved. So let's start there. So, what was it? A week ago now? Last week?
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
It wasn't. Oh yeah. It was last.
It was 9 days ago.
Yeah.
Last weekend, not this past weekend. Yeah. Well, or whatever. 8-9 days ago. Harry says, we were talking about it like, hey, we want to go. Let's go watch the fight. Let's order the Logan Paul fight versus Ben Askren.
Jake Paul, bro.
Fuck. Yo. I mean, I don't mix them up. I see them. I know which one. I just say one or the other.
They talked on their podcast about. They're like,
I know. I saw.
How
it,
do
actually.
people not understand I'm not Jake or whatever?
But I wouldn't go up to him and be like, hey, Logan, when it's Jake.
They'll probably punch you if you did that.
I don't think so, because I'd sue the fuck out of them.
My dad's gonna sue you.
No, they're also not dumb.
All right, let me do this
they play
intro.
Like they're dumb. They're not dumb.
Let me play this intro so you don't get it wrong. Jake Paul fought Ben Askren. I received an invite to go to this fight. Now this fight is very limited to.
They said 150.
They said 150 people, and there's also 50,
it was more than that.
It was a lot more than that. But 50 people won from Triller, who did its contest. So I had tickets to go through my management, and so they sorted that out, got me a ticket. Now, Haas wanted to go. And we have friends that were going, aka Iraq. And so Haas decides, well, we decided to get a hotel to go down there because even though we're 15 minutes away, all the YouTubers are staying at this hotel. They had a room. I was like, whatever, it's $250. We'll split it. We'll just, whatever. So we got a room right next to Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
So I had no tickets, no nothing, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just go with Harry.
He stayed with me.
And see what I can do. See what I can finesse.
Yep. So we get there. Iraq's immediately
I did have a COVID test, though. That's the only thing I did prepare.
Because I told him that I had to get a COVID test in order to go to the fight.
It was a PCR test.
PCR test.
Yeah.
And
so I got a PCR test. They're very strict about it. So I went and got a PCR test ahead of time, just in case I actually was able to get in. So, which was key.
We showed up, and Eric was in the lobby, and all these YouTubers, which was a good sign immediately. We saw Eric. We got to see people we know, blah, blah, blah. And now you can continue on. It was the Jake Paul, Ben Askren.
Yeah, whatever. So I went to the Logan Paul fight.
Really?
I'm just kidding. So
you're not getting an invite to the Logan fight. You come here.
So we go to the Jake Paul fight, and Harry's good to go. He's fully expected to go in, yep. and I met up with a bunch of the guys that there. So Harry and his management guys. I was just kind of hanging out, and we set up actually a nice dinner. And
very nice dinner.
like a super VIP dinner because they wanted sushi with the best sushi chef in Atlanta, Chef Saito, by the way, shout out. And his restaurant isn't even open yet, so he was gonna come, just come to another place that's the Red Phone booth that's there, and actually make sushi for them, just come for them,
private dinner,
and have a private dinner thing. And what happened was when we got there, when they got there, they arrived, the flight, they were going to go to dinner, then come back and go into the fight. Well, this is what started happening is that we were around, and I was going to go try to figure out how I was going to sneak in, right? And then the Triller people came in oh, you have to come with us right now. And,
yep.
and
we're was at 5:30.
Yeah, we were thinking we'd come back at 7:30,
mind you,
or something.
The card started at 9, and the fight was starting at midnight. And that card includes a lot of
the undercard started at 9.
Then and then there's a lot of music artists. There's about 8
performances
in between.
So we knew it was going to be later, so we had plenty of time. Then the Trill people though, it's 5:30, and they're like, no, you guys have to come with us right now, and you can't leave again.
If you go in, you can't leave. And they told us the latest you can get to the venue is 7. And we got in there at 5:45, and we're like, should I go into my part of the story? But
not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. So we end up saying, okay, we cancel the dinner. And I'm like, shoot, I can't even figure something out. I'm going to just, roll with them. So they're like, okay, who's with your group? And so I was, we were just chatting there, and they're like, you're here too, right? And I was like, yeah. And so we just wrote our names down.
They had a piece of paper.
They're like, oh, it's easier if we just write it down here because, to figure out who of your group is right here, and we'll walk you to the COVID testing component. I think Steve's Food is here.
Yeah, to either take a COVID test or show the test that you took the night before.
Right. So I put my name on this list that we wrote down, just be who of the group is there, and they're like, all right, go in now. We're gonna get your COVID bracelet. So we walk to across the street from this hotel, the Reverb Hotel, at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they're like, all right, everyone's, we're all on the list. We're all going to get our COVID test stuff. So they didn't really check us. They're like, sure, go ahead and get your COVID test verification. And he had previously signed up for through a link. And I was like, okay, well, let's just see how this goes. So you and the other guys, get their stuff. They're going pretty quickly. And I'm like, give me a minute here because I got to finesse something. So I go to I go to a guy who's a little farther off, and I say, hey, I'm on the list, but and I have my COVID test. Here's my PCR COVID test. I had it ready on my phone, and I was like, but I was a last minute addition. I'm not sure I'm going to be on there. And he was like, oh, no problem at all. Just fill out this information. So he basically gave me the form to fill out there. I was like, great, because I assume, and this makes sense, that's not the hard part. It's the credentials to get in the fight.
Yep.
So he was like, okay, no problem, because I wouldn't even got in there without Harry and his group.
Yep.
So I get in there, I'm like, okay. He's like, okay, cool. No, you're obviously here for a reason. So go ahead, and I fill out the info, and then he scans my COVID test. He's like, it's good to go. It'll come back to me in a second. He's like, okay, great. And then he says, I'll approve it now. So he did it right then and there, which was supposed to take time. So I was like, I look at Harry, and they had just done theirs in 1 minute. And mine was maybe 4 minutes.
And we're not looking. I'm not looking at Haas like, oh God, is he going to get out? Right. I'm like, Haas has got to figure this out. And if he does, he does. If he doesn't, we're keeping it moving. And
this is, by the way, the step 1 of 3 that I had to get.
That was
through.
2. Step 1 was the name on the list.
Oh, right. Step 1 of 4. Step 204. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm already like, all right. So I get that done. We get our COVID bans, and they escort us back to the hotel, and they say, you can't go anywhere. We're going to take you in 30 minutes. We're going to take you across.
Yeah,
the
they said like, just hang out. We'll take you in 30 minutes. So we were like, well, we were supposed to get this.
We're supposed to get our
dinner.
Yeah. And then we're supposed to get our
at that point, I think you would have been able to go because you weren't even going to go. But I think at that point,
I wasn't.
You were like you were reading all this, so we were just like, let's go.
Yeah,
but,
I met Harry's team, and we're like, yeah, let's all go. I was like, cool. Maybe I won't cancel the dinner. and then they were like, we have to get credentials. So then there was this mix up. Like, do we go get our credentials or? And then the Triller folks came back and they said, you know what? We have them here in the hotel. We'll just bring them down. Yep. So they went to this conference room. Should I tell them everything about this?
I don't think so. But what I'll tell them, I think I'll say it in a way that I think is appropriate.
Okay.
Well, they have like
so everybody who's like in this group went to get their credentials in a room.
Yeah, and each credential is like two together because you have seats together.
Yeah.
And the seats are
they're like rubber banded together and stuff.
The weird thing about this, which we didn't know and I didn't know, is the people that I was with didn't know. They put us in the category of the winners of the Triller thing.
They put all of you guys in the wrong category.
Which matters later on in the thing because even Eric was a part of that group.
Yes.
This matters later on. So basically
it was like general admission versus exclusive or suites or anything like that.
And they're asking names, but the weird thing about it is some of the the things were put together and you couldn't see the other names. So it was like they were like, this person's name's not here, this person's name's not here, and it was kind of weird.
So it's like legitimately there were a few people saying, here's my name, and they say they couldn't find it, or they'd say, that's my name, great, and they get something and they get someone else's too.
So I got my credentials, we got our credentials, and then Haas got his credentials. But we won't go much more into it.
I got credentials,
but
we'll go to great detail.
We walk
but I got
out,
credentials.
There's two sides to what happens next. Haas goes off with Eric and does one thing. I was staying with my guys to do one thing because Haas wanted to. I mean, at that point, you didn't even really have to do what you were doing because you were going to do that in order to try to get in.
Exactly.
But you figured out.
I got it with credentials, but it did.
It just went in the pool. I guess we'll just leave it. Should be fine.
Steve's eating over there laughing at it.
So, should I give my side? I'll give my side first.
Yeah. So what happened is we split paths here because at this point, when I got the credentials, I looked at Harry and I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you go. And so I split with Harry. And at that moment, Eric was there too. And we had a plan to try originally for me to try to sneak in a vehicle convoy because he had the hookup with a buddy who had a Rolls-Royce Cullinan with a police escort. And I said, well, wouldn't it make a lot of sense if I just put my Rolls-Royce Wraith behind the Cullinan inside the police escort if they were cool with it and try to get in? He said, yeah, let's do it. He was trying to sneak in this Band-Aid, right? If you haven't seen the video yet, go check it out.
That'll fill in a lot of the gaps here, and you'll see a lot of.
Go to Eric's channel. It's a good video, first of all, but you'll see us in it. And I
was in it for a brief second, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I was in it for a brief second too. But it's basically chronicles one component of that, and so I go off with Eric to meet the guys in the convoy, and in the meantime, Harry goes through this general admission with Reed and.
So we go in with there's groups.
Ezra,
so we just thought
Ben.
they were taking different groups, whatever, and so we were this first group. So we go in, we walk into Mercedes-Benz with this group, with some of these people. I didn't recognize anybody, and I was surprised because I was like, there's supposed to be a lot more influencers here. But we walk in, they're like, oh, you got to go over here to get your food for dinner. So like, okay, cool, wonder what they got. They light us over. There's water bottles, and then there's these boxes of food that are like Firefest. It was like a half turkey sandwich and Lay's chips, and it was literally Firefest. Like that's what we're saying.
It really was because I've seen pictures of Firefest like food, and Josh Ordonez, one of the guys that with us, when he got one of those picnic things, it was just a slice of cheese with bread. It was like they forgot it. It was
so
bad.
We go and sit down, and the guys that I'm with, they're pretty high up in the influencer world, and like they've got connections, and they were first off, we got separated, and all these seats are like spaced apart, and the seats that me and one of the guys that I was with got was directly in front of the stage where a rafter and a camera was, so we couldn't even see the stage. So we were like, this is so dumb. Fuck this. So we go over, we sit with them, even though you're not supposed to because they zip tied the seats next to people.
You just open the zip tie, though.
Yeah. So we sat down next to them. We're like, what are we going to do? So first off, no booze. We're like, all right, we're at a boxing event at 5:45. The fight does not
That
start
starts
till
at
at least
9.
midnight, and we cannot leave.
That starts at 9, and the main fight doesn't start until midnight. And here's the other thing. What most people didn't realize is that all of those fights and stuff, except for the second to last fight, were pre-recorded.
Yeah,
there was nothing except for an occasional music thing. Nothing going on.
We got there when that last pre-recorded fight went was being filmed. So we saw like the very tail end because we was 5:45.
But for 5 hours there was no live boxing.
Yep.
It was only a sporadic musical performance, and then they cut in all the stuff that they had just filmed.
Yep. And so we're sitting there. We're like, we need food. So we go. We talk to security, and we're like, look, can we order Uber Eats and have them meet us at the gate and like hand it through the security gate? And they're like, why do you need to do that? And we're like, because this food sucks. We can't eat this. So they're like, okay, that's fine. So we order I'm a very simple eating person, but it was literally like a bag of Lay's chips and a half turkey sandwich for 6 hours. Like that's not proper dinner, like for anybody. So we ordered $150 worth of sushi. This says it's gonna get here in an hour and a half. So we're sitting there waiting. And we're like, this is weird. So we're walking back from the security, and I look up, and I see like people in like the suite area, and I'm like, what's
People
that?
you recognize.
People I recognize. I'm like, what's that? And so I talked to the people I'm with. I'm like, yo, let's talk to the guy that we got the stuff through because he's working the event. Like, see about like getting up there because I think that's where we're supposed to be. So we talk. He's like, all right, meet me here right now. So we go down and we go over to the entrance, his elevator to the suites. You have to have a suite pass. We didn't have that. He takes us in, takes us up, and he's like, I'm gonna take you to my suite and you can just hang out there for the whole fight. It's fine. We go up, get off the elevator. Immediately, I see Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio, who have like 100 million followers together. I look to my right, I see Ric Flair in a box, and I'm like, holy shit, this is where we're supposed to be. Then we start walking towards the box. You have 4 different bars, and all these celebrities and influencers hanging out and drinking.
And MMA fighters and
like literally,
everybody.
Like,
yeah,
Sean.
that was the influencer area.
So they take us to the box. We walk in the box. All of this food. There's lobster rolls.
There's more food
sushi,
than like you could
chicken
even
tenders,
consume.
donuts,
Everything.
cake, like everything. And I'm like, this is what we were supposed to be doing. Like, what were we doing? Like, that was horrible down there. Thank God we said something. And so we got up there, and that's when, like, that's how I found we got settled. There's obviously a lot more that happens after that. But then,
Harrison texts me and is like, okay, when you get in, it's Firefest 2.0.
I said, you have to be here by, they kept telling us you have to be here by 7, and if you don't, you're not getting in. Because
we were not getting there by 7. It was very, very close.
They were still in Buckhead.
Yeah, because we weren't there yet. And the people we were with were like, no, don't worry, we'll get in. And
I didn't want to risk that. That's why I didn't go with them.
Which made sense. And I was like, well, it doesn't make any sense. If I'm a ticketed person to the event, and I'm coming, and it's anywhere just later, that they're not going to let me in, they'll let you in. But who knows, right? So it was a legitimate concern. So we get there a little later, but anyway, Eric and I and a bunch of other guys, we go in a convoy with a Ferrari, not mine, a different Ferrari, Cullinan and my Wraith with the police escort, and it was insane. We went from Buckhead to downtown where the fight was at. And that normally takes about 22 minutes in. It was traffic because was it Friday or Saturday?
It was a Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday.
So there was like Saturday night traffic, like evening traffic.
Like people going into the city,
people going out, going to dinner, everything. And so it was nuts. So if
you watch the video, you'll see how crazy it is.
We got down there in probably 7 minutes.
Those cops were
because the cops stopped
reckless.
We went through red lights on the opposite side of the road, like in oncoming traffic, and everybody stopped. Not just because. Hello, Steve. Welcome back. Welcome back. How was your meal? Steve was really hungry. He hadn't eaten all day.
Right.
But you could hear us, right?
Yeah, it was funny.
Oh, thanks. So we're flying in this police escort, and everybody is stopping, taking pictures. They think we're like Justin Bieber going to the event. Like they really do.
And from an outsider's perspective, they have every reason to, because there's a Cullinan, a Rolls Royce, and a Ferrari being police escorted to Atlanta when there's a huge fight in Atlanta. Of course.
We didn't just think that. People were saying, Justin, it's Justin Bieber. People on the sidewalk. So everybody in cars, walking around through Buckhead everywhere, because we started here in Buckhead, stopped and just took phones out.
Well, like here in Buckhead, people won't care as much, but when you're downtown like that, it's a very tourist area, and you go to do tourist things. So like everyone there like would just be looking
out
for a
there, right?
celebrity
Yeah.
or something.
And so by the time we got down there to where the fight was, there were throngs of girls and people just being like, trying to see a celebrity. And we roll down the windows and we're like, we're not Justin Bieber.
Eric kept yelling, "I'm just a YouTuber."
Yeah, he did. So we do get in. Some things happen there, which I'm not going to go into.
Yeah.
Some things happen. But we managed to get we had to split up. That's how that ended. We had to split up, and 4 of us, me, Josh, Eric, and Mac. So Mac, Eric, Josh, and me had to split up together. So we went a different way, and some other buddies went a different way, and we got in to the general admission to where Harrison was just talking about.
So they had the
Firefest
same
2.0.
the same passes that we had. They had. So they got down there, and I was like, "Look,"
but we didn't have the hookup that his management did.
I told him I was like, bring booze, bring food. They don't care if you bring stuff in like that.
We had no time. We just had no time.
But he didn't have time. So he gets down there and I'm texting him like, "Yo, I'm up here," and they're trying to get me to
He's making fun of it. He's taking videos of us that he can see me way down there. He's in a box and he's like, "Oh, look at all this food." And he just has a video of us way down there and he sends it to me. He's like, "Hey."
So then like 10 minutes goes by.
Like, "Hey, peasants."
And then Eric just walks in and sits down next to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What's going on, dude?" And he's like,
So when we were down there, Eric's like, "I'm just going to go look around." And I was like, we're like, "Okay, cool."
and he just goes and he just walks upstairs and gets to where I'm at.
So Eric doesn't come down for 20 minutes. And I'm sitting there with Mac and Josh and Caleb and Phidias, who got kicked out, by the way, and didn't get Phidias is he's an interesting character. If you watch Eric videos, you'll know who I'm talking about. And I'm like, "Hey guys, this is pretty boring. I'm just gonna walk around, maybe get up there, whatever. I'm just gonna walk and check it out. See, I may not be able to do what Eric can do, but I'm gonna walk around." And so I walk up because you text me like, "Eric's here," and I was like, "Fuck, it's possible."
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say that I did some walking and running and jumping, and also some acting, and I got up there.
He made it up there. And these are the things
it.
that I can't do. I'm just not that risky of a person. So we did it. I wanted to do it the right way because I'm just going to be too worried that I'm just going to kick out.
What's hilarious is I did more sneaking into that whole event than Eric did.
You did. Well,
because he had passes. He was trying to sneak in the Band-Aid, but I snuck in everything. And so I get up to the influencer suite, and he and Eric and Harry are walking out. And I'm like, I think I called you. I was like, "Hey, I'm here. Where I go?" And I was like, and it was perfect because security was eyeing me, and as soon as I found people that recognized me and stuff, it was like, "Oh, okay, he doesn't stick out."
Because I was going to get a drink because I needed it from sitting there for so long. And it was like 9:00 by the time that we all got settled in together.
Yeah. And so at that point I was ecstatic. I was like, "Hey guys," I texted them. I was like, "Didn't mean to ditch you, but I can't leave here because I won't be able to come back up.
Yeah.
We don't have the right credentials." I put the credentials inside of my shirt.
At that point, it didn't matter. If you were up there, you're up there.
Well, no, if they saw that you weren't.
Because mine was the same credentials, but we just got brought up.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to be questioned.
They just said you can't go down.
Didn't want to be questioned.
Yeah.
So we basically hung out with the D'Amelio sisters.
Well, I'll explain.
And
there's a section that
Logan
everybody
Paul,
started to hang out in, but there's a
George
hallway
Tanner.
to the bar, and at that bar, Sean O'Malley and a couple other people are DJing, for everybody, and your favorite influencers.
Claudia, what's her name?
Not Claudia. She wrote the song "I Hate You, I Love You."
Yeah, 8 billion global plays.
Huge.
She's huge.
But Logan was there. Mike, Kian and JC.
Tanner Fox, George Janko,
Jack Harlow, Sway Lee, dude.
So were you there when I met Sway Lee?
Yeah. So let me explain this. So I'm walking.
I didn't know who. First of all, just let me say, I did not know what Sway Lee looked like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what happened. Me and the guy that had the whole police escort, his name's Jazzy. Him and I just so happened to be wearing the same shirt. So him and I were walking together to go get a drink.
Same T-shirt.
Yeah, he was talking about sneakers. He wants to buy sneakers. We're walking to go get a drink, and Sway Lee's right there, and he's like, "Oh, y'all, that's cute. You guys are matching."
And he was like, "I'm hungry though. You guys have any food?"
Yeah. After that, and so
and I've been sitting in this suite that I've now claimed as my own. Obviously, at this point,
we had all the food.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yo, we got extra food. Come to our suite." He was like, "Oh, for real?" And I was like,
"Yeah." He didn't even know who he was. He was just like, "Come to our suite."
Come to our suite. I don't give a fuck. I mean,
so Hoss is sitting there with Sway Lee's eating.
That's how I treat everybody. I don't care if you're Sway Lee or just some dude on the street. I treat everybody the same way.
So they were sitting there eating out of the fridge and talking.
He's like, "You got some shrimp?" And I was like, "Yeah, here's some shrimp. Here's some sushi. Here's this." He's like, "Oh, hell yeah." And so we're just chatting, and I noticed that he's wearing a lot of diamonds. Like he had maybe 8 chains of thick diamonds, and like he had 2 watches that were iced out and bracelets and stuff like that, just tons of stuff. And he was, and I made fun of him. I was like, it's tough to find food here, isn't it? He was like, I'm hurting for it, man. I was like, yeah, you look like it. And he was like, what's your name, man? I was like, I'm Haas. He's like, I'm Lee. I was like, cool, man.
And he like walks out.
Still had no idea who he was.
Yeah, he walks out, and Haas is like, who's that guy? And I'm like, that's Sway Lee, dog. And Haas is like, oh shit, I didn't even know.
I had no fucking clue. Damn. So I texted him on Instagram. I hit him on Instagram. He was like, yeah, good seeing you, bro. So like we've chatted now a couple times. And he was like, yeah, I'm sure. He's like, that's the shrimp guy.
We were like walking past, like,
no, he was cool. He was cool though.
So there's a corridor from our room or our box to like the bar area, and we're just walking around meeting people and talking. And Haas talks to people more like
I mean, I'm being me.
Yeah, he like opens the conversation, but then people know, like some of them knew who I was because I'm in the space.
Right.
They didn't know him, but he would make a compliment, and then we'd start talking, whatever.
Like you met the guy you used to watch all the time, JC, right?
JC. I still watch him.
What's his channel?
JC Keenan JC. That's all it is.
I've never seen it.
He streams on Twitch, JC Kalen. But
okay.
I've watched him since I was like years ago.
And Harry had told me that, and then we saw him, and I was like, "Yo, let's talk to him."
We were getting
what were we gonna say? And I was like, "Just relax." I was like,
we were getting a drink, and then his buddy Oscar, shout out Oscar, he had some Off-White Air Max 90s, their first pair on, and Haas was like, "Oh, nice shoes." And he saw my shoes, and then he thought Haas was wearing the Lil Nas X Satan shoe.
I was wearing
like, no way you're wearing those.
Yeah. But I was actually wearing the undefeated 97s. Air Max 97s, yeah.
And so then he was like, oh, shit, I've seen your videos. You do the sneaker stuff. And so then we started chatting, and I met JC. And when you're in that environment, like, everybody there is chill because it's not a fan environment. And like,
there were no fans. And they were, and I will say, Triller did a good job until they put you in the fan area and some others, but they did a good job of separating that.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm saying until they did they failed at that.
But I don't think it necessarily did because I wasn't technically supposed to be a part of the Triller winners.
Yeah, but Reed and Ezra and them were not fans.
Yeah, but they're not. But they're big enough. So I think like most people who were up there were like proper to be up there. Like even you're acquainted with me and stuff. It wasn't like some people who just got on the app.
There were no fanboys up there though, which was
I saw. Some stuff happened, but I don't know.
Was it? I wasn't there before.
Some people got up there, but
did they get ejected?
No, but it was like 99%.
Oh, that lady.
Yeah, it was like 99%, and like
that was a lady.
I didn't like.
She was everywhere.
In awe, and Haas and I kept walking around, and we were like, "How the fuck is this happening?" Like, and I mean,
I thought it was funny because I was like, I shouldn't even be here, so I thought it was funny.
And like, I mean, I feel like I guess I just look at myself as like whatever. Like I'm just
Harry's a regular dude,
but. I guess I if I think about it, I really can consider myself on that level because I know a lot of people in space. I have a decent following, and like we just walk by Logan Paul and their crew, then we walk by Justin Bieber's crew, and then it's like everybody's just chilling.
It's pretty
drinking.
Chill. I gotta say, it was pretty chill up there, and then everyone was drinking.
Everyone was drinking. Don't make any comments.
Yes.
You
have a photo.
Oh, man.
I didn't mean. I wasn't like, oh, I got.
I forgot.
I was taking like a video just in general, and I was I made a TikTok, and I was like, it's a clout party here, and in that TikTok, go look at it. I'm sure it's hard to see, but it's there. There is a person who is well documented underage drinking, and I'm like, all right, that's interesting. But
that's just what Haas. When you were 19,
my point is, that's what we were talking about. I wasn't trying to like be like, oh look, they're drinking. So the reason why is I was talking to these people at some point, and I was like assuming that they were of age, and Harry like whispers to me that they are not.
I was like, no, she's like 19.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, thanks for letting me know. This is why I needed you to tell me that, because what was I to think? They were drinking and everything. I just assumed.
But yeah, it was just cool to walk around, finally be in the space with creators, because like it would be normal in LA to do that kind of thing, but since we're in Atlanta and it was
different. LA in Atlanta. That's basically what that suite area was.
It was probably 50% of like the big scene in LA. It's the people who are friends with Jake and Logan. It's what it is, and then a couple
pretty
people who just wanted
in that
to go.
orbit. Yeah,
and people who are sponsored by Triller, kind of thing. So
yeah, that's true.
It was just cool to be there.
Everyone was pretty chill, man. It was a good time.
Then when the fight happened...
Well, hold on. That's how we got to the story, too. Because in our suite, I met a couple of TikTokers. And
18 million.
Huh?
18 million followers.
Something like that. I don't know.
I think you have.
Well, there was a pair of brothers that were there, and I was just chatting with them because they were in the suite. And
They looked younger than me, so you could tell they were young.
I was like, these guys must be TikTokers because they look like they're 12. But I started chatting with them, and they're really great guys. Like this one guy, Maverick, I was like, he's such a nice guy. And so we ended up chatting for like 20 minutes, and he's like, oh, I'll what's your Instagram? And he hits me up, and I was like, yeah, let's hang out later. And then towards the end of the night, he pops up again with Eric. He's hanging out with Eric, and he was like, "Oh wait, you guys know each other?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh man, you get around." So anyway, we've been, the reason why we got to this, we forgot to talk about the Logan Paul fight, but the reason why we got to this is because that guy that I met, Maverick Baker, by the way, we've been texting off and on, just about random stuff, hovercraft things. He saw the hovercraft in my story, was like, "Oh man, I saw that on a random TikTok." I was like, "No way." He's like, "Yeah," and so. Because I had no one else to go with me, I invited him to come with me on my cross country trip, and he's flying here in a day or two.
Because Steve and I won't do it.
I know.
Plus asked me a couple times.
I tried.
I
tried.
I got my.
I didn't even fight you. I didn't even fight Steve. I fought Harrison a little bit.
Yeah.
I did not fight Steve at all.
Because I look at it and I'm like, it would be cool to say I drove from Georgia to LA in an Orange Rolls Royce with the hovercraft. That's a cool story to look back and say. But then I also think about between work and sitting in a car that long.
Yeah.
Not the funnest thing, especially horse driving, because it stressed me the hell out.
Me driving? You mean Steve driving?
And you have a hovercraft. Imagine that thing just gets loose and just,
Oh my god.
So it's going to be an eventful drive, and I also plan to make some stops and maybe buy some cool fun toys as well on the way, but I'm really excited that Maverick is coming, first because I fucking love the guy, he's a really cool guy, but also he's like, hey, we got this because we were talking about, I said I was going to come to LA. I said I was planning to come to LA soon, and he was like, cool, let me know. So I let him know, and he was like, well, what are you doing? And I told him, and I was like, well, what days are you free? He was like, I'm free all week. And I was like, if you're free all week, you want to come with me? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay. And he said, no, I got like a brand deal call tomorrow, and then if that goes well, timing wise, then I'll just come. And just now, like an hour ago, he was like, yeah, I'm good. Let's do it. So, kindred spirit, man. If he's just like, fuck it, let's go. I love that. That's what I would do.
yeah. And he was, he just got put in our box with us for whatever. The people that
They like
we were
showed
there,
him to the yeah.
yeah,
like,
whoever
here.
people we were there with knew him, I guess, and put us in the room. We just met a couple people that way, and like when these rooms have boxes, and you like walk down to like
They're pretty
seats.
big boxes.
They're big.
They're
And you look to, like,
supposed to like have like 10 people in them. And we had like
even
4.
more the
seats, the
down
bleacher.
below
Yeah,
are
there was like 15 or something. Yeah, 20.
seats.
Yeah.
But like you look over and it's like all these influencers just have fun, whatever. But then the fight time comes where we walk out to go like start looking at stuff and nobody's there, and we're like, what just happened?
We were in the suite chatting, do whatever, and we were like, oh, Logan Paul. It's a joke now.
That was genuine.
Yeah, the Jake Paul fight. Jake Paul is about to go and fight, and so we're walking out to just see like with our eyes versus on the TV screens, that we had huge TV screens next to us in the suite. So we wanted to go see from the suite box area, and we look out and we could normally see everybody out there partying, hanging out, whatever. There was nobody, and we're like,
weird.
What happened? So I'm like, Harry, there's nobody here, dude. And then we see them on the floor level as a herd, as like 100 people walking as a herd. I'm like,
ringside.
I was like, we missed our shot, dude. We missed our shot. And then Harry, for a split second, Harry like, should we go? Should we just run down there?
I know. I was like, because I wanted to be right there for the fight.
We wanted to, but we definitely did not have the credentials for that, right? So our only chance would have been to go with the herd.
Yep.
And we missed it. And so, we were like, we're not going to be able to get back. Maybe we won't even see the fight. It's not worth it.
Because it was too quick and like we didn't want. Yeah.
We just didn't realize it. Everyone just like left and we didn't realize it. So even,
I swear if we'd have walked to the other, just be like, yeah, we need to go to ground. They'd just be like, all right. But
yeah,
some people stayed up there, but I mean, and then the fight was so quick, and honestly, the box was worse than the first seats because the box was so far away. Yeah.
To see it with your own eyes, but we had TVs and food and everybody was there, so it wasn't too bad. It was because if you think about it, like 90% of the time was just sitting around. If we were there the whole time, would have been miserable. I would have left.
Dude, if we were in that, the people that I was with when we sat down in those seats initially, they're like, all three of them said, I would rather leave, go to this sushi dinner, and just watch this fight at a bar. They're like, I don't care. This sucks.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, like, I get it. I was like, but I kind of don't want to miss it. I was like, let's just see what we can do first before we leave. And that's when we started working, because I was just like, I don't want to just leave, because like I was getting excited for this whole thing and like meeting people, and it would have just been like hanging out with them, which would have been great. But like, there's a bigger opportunity to meet people and whatever.
Yeah.
And just being around. And so we did that, and then the fight, we got out of there. We were walking to the hotel at 2 a.m. It was so
late. And we had some plans to go afterwards, and then 6 of us out of our group of 7, I'm the 7th, we're like, I'm tired, I'm gonna go home. I was like, come on.
Well, no, I said that because did. They were done, and I only wanted to go to like the Jake after party.
Yeah, but I saw your face and you're like, I'm done.
It was 2 a.m. and with COVID,
he was up late. He was up late for him.
It was, but with COVID and stuff, being in that arena, everybody's tested. But the second we go anywhere else, it's a free for all.
That's true.
To me, at that point, it wasn't worth risking it, because we're going into like I don't want to go to a club or anything.
Plus,
right
they're going like tongue and groove. It wasn't like anything crazy. So I was like, all right.
Yeah,
like, I was there last week.
That's the classic place that everybody goes.
Yeah,
and it's fine, but it's. And I wanted to go to the after party, and I knew where Jake was staying, and that's where they had their after party. But we just.
So yeah, it was fun. Yeah, you know.
But yeah, I mean, it was a crazy event, a cool story to tell, and I mean, I'm glad I'm went. I kind of stressed about having COVID after for a couple of days, but
he did stress.
That's what I do.
He was convinced he had COVID.
I went and got tested, and I wore a mask 90% of the time, even though everybody there was tested.
It's hairy. Did you even watch the fight?
Not even. I mean, I saw the knockout.
Yeah, the clips.
I get why people don't think it was worth it. I mean.
Well, because it wasn't worth it if you paid $50 to watch that all night, and it wasn't even good boxing underneath it, right? So the undercards were all terrible fights. The performances were like YouTube video performances, and then it was that fight was underwhelming.
They tried to sell it as like a concert / boxing thing, but people didn't want to see that. The fight could have been done by 11. I get starting later because of West Coast, but like, I don't know. I get it. And I mean, if we weren't in the situation we were in, it would have been so dumb. Yeah. But being up there made time pass so much more, because you could, like, they didn't have alcohol for anybody who was in that section. Like, come on, we're at a boxing match.
For 5 hours?
5 hours, no drinks, and a turkey sandwich and some chips.
Thank goodness there were multiple open bars up there, and we took full advantage.
And we were. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've seen Harry drink that much in like a year.
I drink a lot, but I was fine because I started later and paced it.
Yeah, and we had lots of food and everything. Plus, we weren't driving. You know, we were walking. It was all.
That's
fine.
why I wanted to get the hotel, because I was like, I want to like have fun and not worry about
which made
getting
sense.
a ride home. And same with Hollis, like he was willing to like drive me home or drive me back to his house and whatever. But I was just like, even though it's 15 minutes, I don't want to stress about that. I just wanted to walk to the room.
And I agreed. I was like, that is the best. Even though we were 50 minutes away, I was like, it's a better. It's just less stressful.
$1,000, then okay, yeah, that's a little much. But like,
yeah, it was cheap. It was like $300. What was it?
$250, $300. Yeah.
Did I pay you?
You paid me initially. I don't know how much the valet cost. I never looked.
But did they even charge us?
I don't know.
I wasn't sure they charged us. Anyway. It was worth it for us, but I totally understand. I don't think it'd be worth it if I had paid $50 and sat at home though.
No,
expecting it to be something else.
I don't think so either, because I don't. Yeah, no, because
so we're not going to get invited to the Logan fight.
I might.
You might.
I think I could probably work the same strings. There's gonna be a lot of people wanting to go to that. If it's in Atlanta, for sure I'm going.
It's not. Well, it was being discussed, but I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah. Well,
we don't really know yet, right? It's not confirmed.
No, but I'm gonna try to get in, because that's the kind of stuff I like. I mean, I'm
gonna try and get in.
I would like to get vaccinated by then, so I can just not worry.
I mean, I'm gonna out Eric on getting into these places because
he doesn't need to now.
He doesn't need. He has done so well. He gets invited to them. Although it's interesting. But anyway, so I'm gonna do some videos with Eric in the next couple of weeks. That should be fun. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see. So yeah, Steve, you've barely been here this podcast.
Oh no, I'm good. I was listening. I wasn't there, so I couldn't get involved in the story.
What were you doing that night?
Yeah, hanging
I
out at
don't
home,
know.
streaming,
I don't know.
streaming.
I don't know. I don't.
You've been streaming a lot lately.
Yeah. I mean,
What are your concurrent stream numbers these days?
I don't even check like that.
You should try
I
Twitch
just go for it.
for a couple of days.
Well, he's tried that before. So I saw some info recently that would basically like the top Twitch streamers also have a huge YouTube gaming following too. And so the biggest numbers on YouTube gaming were the biggest number from the same people and channels were the biggest ones on Twitch too. So there's obviously some interweaving going on there. Have you considered doing more on Twitch at all?
I mean, I do from time to time, but it's just random for Twitch for me.
So why is that?
I don't know. I feel like YouTube is always like being the comfortable spot for me. But I don't know. Maybe soon I'll. Maybe
Could be a new
I'll
audience.
try. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
new.
It is a new audience.
Well, with
It's
GTA
completely
Roleplay
different.
being number one right now, like why not?
And you have the bonus of pushing your viewers to that stream where it'll push you up enough to like you're like say top 10 doing GTA
And you
5
get
roleplay,
recommended.
and then you'll be
Yeah,
in like
that's true.
when people are watching they'll be like, oh, there's these people, and they'll be like, oh, I didn't know Steve was on Twitch. Let me just
Right.
watch him now.
Boom.
So
Because anybody who's watching GTA Roleplay on Twitch, probably, like I'd say 75%
unless
of them,
they're like probably if they're watching like Rice Scum, maybe they don't. If they're like in it for more the personality.
if they've
of the
seen
person.
it before that.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
they've ever seen it before that, they've seen a Steve video. They know who you are. So that's where I think you have a huge leg up on the most popular kind of out of nowhere.
And you could start getting Twitch subs, which could be a good monetary gain from.
I had so many. Yeah, I just stopped. But
Did you?
yeah, I could always go back to that.
Yeah. They
I
probably
don't know. I just see a
unsubbed
lot
at
of
some
GTA
point.
5 like stuff popping up. Aiden Ross has been blowing up, and
Dude, Mr. Beast was doing GTA 5 roleplay stuff. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like who was it? I don't know, on my TikTok I just see stuff and it'll be like this funny, like the people are in a server and this guy like pull up to get gas and then these four guys walk up and he's like, oh shit. And the guys come up, he's like, what you doing here, man? And they just like start like going at him and he's like, I don't want any trouble, I don't want trouble. And then he like busts him or whatever and then just like runs and they're like chasing him. That stuff to me is hilarious.
It is
Yeah,
funny.
It is funny. Because you meet random person in the server.
Do you know
And
what
they
he
can just act like they're like
Do you know what he'd probably
rival.
do it for? If we got on?
yeah, if we role play
Oh, I'm
too.
down. If you guys
How-
get on,
wouldn't that
I
be
am
fun?
Down.
With that gaming PC I have, would that manage to run that?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Then I'm
Anything
down,
right
dude.
now.
I want to play it. I love GTA 5.
You gotta
I,
go
It's like a whole
I was at
world.
GTA 5 midnight release when that came out.
You got to
I
go
was-
set his computer up now.
No, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is download 5M. You start the game from 5M. That's it.
I'll do it. I got the
I just
But you
gotta
did
give you
more
the
for
IP
mine, though. You did
address.
more for mine.
Oh, no, because you wanted single player, the modding and stuff.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
why?
If we're doing a
Okay.
server and stuff, I'm down to get on there.
The
'cause
server, you don't need anything but a good
Yeah.
video card. As long as you have
That's
a good
it.
video
You
card.
just dial into the server. It's all in the server.
yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm down. Yeah.
Let's schedule it, guys.
Let's not do it at 2
You can
a.m.,
even
but-
drive your own car, too.
Yeah, let's make the GT3
Dude, people have made my cars for me.
Yeah.
They sent it to me. That's pretty cool.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
We're doing it, guys. Let's do it.
Be on the
remember that.
lookout.
On Twitch or YouTube?
Well, I guess
Whatever. We'll just start and feel it out, and maybe if people like it.
I'm just telling you guys right now, it's addictive. Just letting you guys know.
I mean, it'd be a good thing, though.
It's just hanging out.
trying
It's
to
just
get
like
Steve
us
Twitch
hanging out
subs.
right now.
I'm gonna just be like getting people like, come on, let's get a dono in the chat. Dono in the chat. If
Except
we get
for-
a dono, then I'll crash Haas's car.
Except for I'm going to do all my voices.
Oh, you get arrested by cops
Creepy,
too
yeah.
for doing dumb stuff. So
There's no
They put you
problem.
away.
There's no problem. I will handle
you'll be mad
all-
when you get put away.
all people.
I'm telling you.
I will be able to leave jail.
Well, we're gonna do
You
this, guys.
cannot
Watch out
condemn
for
me.
it.
You'll
That's
be
our
in
next-
prison. Somebody's gonna mess with you in prison too.
No one puts Vladimir in prison. All right.
That's
Well, thanks guys for stopping by. Be on the lookout for us letting you know when we're gonna stream together.
Let's do
Let's
it.
go.
Let's put it on the calendar. Let's do it, man. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, guys. I think we're at time. We'll see you next time. For Harry, Steve, and Haas,
Peace.
we out.